All right, guys, what's the next reason for me to cringe? Women are converting to Islam for clout. 3 weeks ago. Oh, for crying out loud. Is it of course it's liberal women, is it? You know what? I'm going to watch the video. I'm just going to say it. I don't think it's for clout, my friend. I think it's just because of their anti-Christian and anti-white sentiment and anti-West. That's it. They're just converting to what they feel will upset Christian conservatives the most. That's what I think. Let's see. What is it? What's your favorite thing about Muslim doctrine? I'm really curious.
I think one of my favorite things that I've learned so far as I'm reading the Quran is that technically I'm a Muslim. I don't know why it makes me so happy. Like, technically I'm a Muslim because I believe in God and I strive to be a good person. I can't wait to throw so many people for a loop.
Oh, she is so happy that she can use this to get attention. Look at that smile. That's the smile of someone who is going for the clout. And ever since the whole Free Palestine campaign gave Islam good PR, a number of leftist women, ironically leftist women, have been jumping to become Muslim, like how every wokie announced they were trans when people started getting a bunch of undeserved praise for it.
Right. I reverted on the 6th of September 2024. I grew up Christian. My whole family is Christian.
Oh no. Not Christian. Oh, how did you survive that? Man, I'm so glad that now you're in a religion that is like 15 times stricter, particularly against women and LGBTQ people, but hey, as long as you can own the chuds. Am I right? Let me have some chocolate here to compensate. Go on.
Then I met some friends in work who are Muslim and they kind of introduced me to the religion. Then I was in Morocco and I saw a TikTok about the Day of Judgment. I just started crying and I was like, I can't die and not be Muslim.
Look at that. She's getting more attention from her friend group. Notice the British accent. I'm sure that's not a coincidence.
Well, the United Caliphate. No, of course it's not a coincidence. Probably her family is the only Christian family left in the entirety of her little, small British town. They're probably all from Saudi Arabia, wherever the heck, Pakistan, where they come from. I don't even know. How dare she speak English, by the way? That's the language of colonialism. That's disgusting. She should be speaking Arabic. Urdu. Speak Urdu.
She also gets tons of attention on social media, and she even gets to have a coming out story.
Someone said Christ is Lord. Amen, brother.
When I was first learning about Islam, I hid it quite a bit. I was initially very nervous about telling any of my family. I actually was in the car with my sister. I started speaking to her and I was like, I'm not going to lie to you.
You know, this is perfect. I'm sorry I'm interrupting this so much, but this is the perfect representation of what's happening. Perfect. That's exactly it. This is what England is going to be like in 20 years' time. This is what it means to be English in 20 years. Just a different skin color.
And I started speaking and she was like, you want to revert? And I was like, yeah. Alhamdulillah, she had a lovely reaction and was just kind of like, obviously I'll support you, whatever you want to do.
Is this not just the LGBT stuff all over again, including the violent radicalism?
A lot of the prejudice and the misconceptions that you may have aren't actually Islam. If you actually looked into...
Islamists are absolutely Islam. I don't even... Listen, look. Obviously, we're not saying every Muslim is a fanatic who goes around and bombs places, right? But these are the same people that will look at something which is statistically infinitely lower, which is extreme violence from, for instance, Christian extremists. Very, very rare in comparison, by the way, but it has happened. Like, look at the people that blew up clinics. They will look at that and they will immediately say, Christian nationalists bad. All of them. In fact, the entirety of Christendom is represented on a minute portion. However, when it comes to Islam, it's completely different. That's not even Islam. It doesn't count. Even though Islamic violence is, and that's a fact, statistically and numerically speaking, the type of religious extremism that causes more deaths globally. Full stop. Maybe if we looked at it from a medieval perspective, I mean, Crusaders were pretty right. But right now, you cannot tell me that all religions are the same. No, they're not. Islam is statistically the religion that creates more fanatics that end up being violent compared to other religions. Don't come and tell me that a Taoist, you see a Taoist walking into a building and you're going to think, I don't know, it's a Taoist. There's the same percentage is going to blow up the place.
Islam yourself, the core values at the heart of it, you would actually find that it is beautiful and it doesn't condone any of the negative things that you see.
Oh, okay. Well, as long as you say, no, seriously, guys, the religious texts say this stuff is bad, I can just ignore all the violent extremism that comes from Muslims.
If you don't remove extremists and radicals from your community, you become defined by them.
Right. If there are a bunch of extremists or bad actors in your group and you do nothing to stop them or try to sidestep criticism like that British girl did, then I'm just going to assume it's because you agree with the radicals. Certainly if these extremists were acting in a way that's against your group's core values, then I would think a devout follower of a religion of peace would be jumping to call them out and try to teach them the error of their ways. But after going through this girl's social media, I can find zero content where she does that. What
She's too busy complaining about Christianity, let me guess.
a shock. Now, that's not to say that every Muslim is like this. In fact, there are many outspoken ones who hate the radicals.
Yeah, absolutely, fair.
But this girl is not one of them.
Yeah.
That being said, for close to 2 decades now, there's been a growing amount of people who desire to take their American or Western values and swap them out with what I would say are inferior values. I mean, I don't think it's outlandish to say that being able to marry and procreate with your cousin is an inferior value by comparison to what's popular in the West.
Yeah.
I'm not just talking about Islam here. There are many terrible values that legacy media and social media heads have been trying to get Americans and Westerners to adopt for a very long time now. But the latest trend that's being used to erode American values and freedoms is Islam,
Yes.
a group that has some serious issues with extremism and also has some incredibly oppressive beliefs.
In fact, so oppressive that they leave their countries to come to the West. If the West is so bad, and Christianity is so bad, and at this point secularism, because do remember, that's the funny part, a lot of left-wing people, not leftists never necessarily, but liberals, progressive, whatever the heck, socialists, a lot of people on the left of the spectrum, they tend to be secularists. Not all of them, but a lot of them are like, oh yeah, no, atheism and secularism, right. So why do you end up defending Muslims who tend to think your way of living is in fact inferior to theirs? If anything, a lot of Muslims, if they're actually practicing Muslims, they will end up having closer things and ideals with conservatism. Problem being the Jesus part, massive problem. Not only that, but then when it comes to feminist cause, yeah, good luck with that. Women can't even show their face. In some areas, it depends how strict it is, I get it. It's not the same when you look at Saudi Arabia and when you look at freaking Tunisia, I get it. But a lot of women, when they are covered all the way up to here, that they look like ninja, they can't drive. They're not allowed to drive in some of these countries. Or for some reasons now, voting power, good luck with that. All the people that are advocating on the left about freedom and women, power, independent, for all of a sudden now they side with the one religion that is the most oppressive when it comes to women. And what about LGBTQ issues? Because a lot of gay people are thrown off the 8th floor of a building. Now, I would say that compared to extreme Islamic treatment of LGBT people, even the most extremist Christian will be a better choice in comparison. Because a lot of the times when it comes to gay and lesbian, yes, there are Christians that will complain about it a lot. I myself am against a gay marriage in a Christian context. If you want to do it secularly, that's separate. But if you want to marry in a Christian church, I don't think it should be celebrated. It's between a man and a woman. That's what the Bible says. But in a secular situation, you get married, you invite me, I'll bring flowers. If it's legal in the country, you can do it. I'm not going to oppose it. Here's the thing, though. Muslims, what do they think about gay marriage? Did you ask? You don't care because you just hate Christians. That's why they're doing it. They hate white Christian West. So they do this. That's what they say. And Clout is right.
That leftists, ironically leftist, have been defending by saying, look at all the peaceful ones.
I am Irish, and I am from the South, and I will wear this hijab because I wear it for Allah, not for no man, not for anybody else. I wear it for Allah. This is a peaceful religion. You need to do a little Google search instead of believing everything that you hear on the news, okay?
Oh, hey, look at this.
Yeah, tell the parents of the victims, tell them, oh, you go to Google. Do it. Come on, do it now. What about Iran, you clown? What about Nigeria?
The persecution of Christians by the Islamic State.
Exactly.
Do you have any idea how often Christians are killed in the Middle East or out?
Thank you.
right genocided? Where's all the Free Palestine activists on this one?
Exactly.
And how many terrorist attacks have been committed by Muslim extremists?
Precisely.
Now, people might say that the Bible has some messed up stuff in it. True, the Bible does. And as I was saying earlier, I'm not here to say that all Muslims agree with the behaviors of the radicals.
Exactly.
However, the reason why I and many others don't see modern Christianity as the same as Islam is because these days you don't see mass groups of Christians in the West going around and committing terrorist attacks or telling their followers to murder the non-believers. The worst they will do is hold a protest saying that being gay is a sin, which is something Muslims also believe.
Exactly.
I'm a trans woman. I'm also Muslim.
Muslim. Well, look, whoever you are, you live your life however you want. I'm just telling you, don't go to a Muslim country. And repeat that. And probably me saying this, I'll be called a bigot. Fine, call me a bigot.
Yes, the two exist. They exist, guys.
I'm a post-op transgender woman.
I would say like 6 to 7 years before putting on hijab, I was visibly queer, very visibly queer. So maybe this will help other queer Muslims too.
This has to be a troll. What mosque are they a part of? Because this is so stupid that I'm going to say that every one of these queer Islam videos that I found is fake. That, or they definitely aren't in a Sharia law country. Speaking of fake converting because you're an attention seeker.
Since I've started wearing the hijab, I haven't really came to you and said any good things, because to be honest, I think like coming online and bragging about your rewards or like talking about your dua and stuff like that, I just feel like it's so personal. And every time I speak about Islam online, I'm always either just telling a funny story about like me being a revert and something that's happened to me, or something someone said about me wearing the hijab.
She's clearly attention seeking and doing this for TikTok views.
Yes.
Everyone knows this is a huge market. Hassan Piker and all his flunkies
Hamas Spiker, let's pronounce it right.
literally promote terrorism for a living because it boosts their following and makes them a lot of money.
I do want to say, as much as I'm sharing like the negative
Money used to buy Gucci, by the way, because F the system, am I right?
things and people coming up to me being like, go back to your own country when I'm fully British. Like, as much as I'm sharing those funny experiences, I do want to say as well, Alhamdulillah, because I can see my rewards in real time, and
She probably butchered the pronunciation of that, by the way.
inshallah I'm going to be rewarded 10 times in the next life. Oh my god, people are going to watch this thinking like, oh, she's so brainwashed.
So I guess Islam is like this welfare system where if you wear a hijab, they give you food stamps in the next life? What a greedy-ass reason to convert to a religion. Look at this.
Yeah, because that's not the reason. A new level of copium.
A woman converting to Islam is like a black person converting to slavery. Yeah, it doesn't seem like the benefits are worth being treated like a second-class citizen. Well, unless you're doing this from a country like England that's still sort of westernized, for now, where you don't actually have to deal with Sharia law.
Yeah.
But I mean, it would be a real shame if this chick dropped the act the minute it became inconvenient.
I know that this video is going to disappoint so many people. I know
Oh, you gotta be joking. No way. No way.
the comments are going to be filled with, I'm so disappointed. I knew she was a fake Muslim. People's definitely going to be saying that. People's definitely going to be saying I used the religion for clout. They're going to be saying I knew she was going to take the hijab off, all of this stuff. I'm actually just going to have to firm the comments because genuinely I'm like actually losing my mind in a serious way. I'm always going to be a Muslim. With that being said, I will say the most I feel like I'm on deen and most connected to Allah is when it's between me and Allah. I do really, really regret telling social media, but also I know that my videos have helped so many people. So like I don't regret posting them. I'm not going to take them down because I know that they do help a lot of people.
So let me get this straight. You want a connection with Allah, and yet you're not doing what Allah tells you to do in the Quran.
But I am also going to stop posting about Islam for a little while.
Really?
Maybe forever. I'm really unsure.
Forever,
Yeah, maybe I'll just forever stop talking about this religion that I'm totally committed to. I mean, it sounds like you're an apostate. Remind me again how Muslims are supposed to treat apostates?
Oh
wait,
God.
I'm sorry. It's Islamophobic to point this out.
Is it just me, or is it disturbing to anybody else that people aren't even insulted when you call them racist anymore?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Call us whatever you want. It's gone. It's finished. That era ended. Ended. New generation, my friend. We don't care. Call us whatever you want.
Nose Ring just realized her most powerful weapon is gone.
Yeah.
But people aren't insulted anymore because Americans have seen the extreme one-sidedness of all of this.
Yes.
For example, anti-Christian rhetoric is everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yet none of these people are called Christophobic or whatever istrophobe you...
He's man-based, man. Absolutely. Not even the freaking Pope. The Pope, head of the Catholic Church, Roman Catholic. Cattolico Apostolico Romano. And what he talks about? Islamophobia?
can come up with. And not only that, but people are waking up to the fact that the whole point of accusing everyone of being racist was just a tactic to stop criticism.
Right.
Years of calling white people every name in the book for doing things that almost always weren't actually racist, followed by ignoring moments like this, really pissed off a lot of people.
Yes,
I need you to mind your business because nobody was talking to you, cracker.
That's my wife right there. I don't care.
Nobody was talking to her either. I could look wherever the fuck I want to look. Nobody want to look at your ugly ass anyway. Y'all look like y'all sit in fucking water and vinegar all day. Smell like wet fucking dog. Look at this dog here. Look at it. Look.
All right.
To be honest, I'm not really concerned with this kind of prejudice. I really don't care if people say mean things that are racist. The actual prejudice that I'm concerned about is this.
This idea that people like to spout that Muslims want to kill anybody who's not Muslim, that is not a Muslim belief.
It was the time when your Lord revealed to the angels to convey to the believers, I am with you, and he commanded the angel. Oh my gosh. He actually used the Quran. He's bashing. Think before you sleep is bashing with the Quran. Goodness gracious. Preach it, brother.
This is a lie. The Quran encourages the killing of non-Muslims multiple times.
As a matter of fact, from our Quran, it says if you kill one person, it is as if you have killed all of mankind. So if you think that I'm going to send myself to hell because I care so much about what you're doing, I hate to break it to you, baby, but I don't give a damn. If you want to be a cat, a bat, a Buddhist, a Baptist, a monk, it don't matter to me. That is between you and God. I'm not about to throw myself into the fiery pits of hell trying to save you.
I'm glad that she thinks this way. Problem is, what about the people in Iran? What about the people that come to our countries and think differently than this? Do we have to pretend they don't exist because it offends you? That's a real question. Who do you care more about? Strangers that hate everything we believe in, if they are offended? Or your family and kin that you're supposed to protect? And your nation? And your borders?
I'm trying to save me.
Yeah, so here's the problem with that.
Yeah.
The extremists don't consider non-Muslims to be people. I'm guessing she's talking about the Quran chapter 5 verses 32 through 34, where it does say that killing a person is like killing all of mankind, but it also says that if you make war with Allah and his messenger and strive to create disorder, which can easily be interpreted as if you criticize Islam, they get to kill you. Yeah. You can't make this shit up.
Man, it was 2 passages further down. Maybe she stopped at 32.
The passage she is quoting to call Islam a religion of peace is literally telling you to crucify people who go against Muslim ideology. Now, those of you who might fight me on my interpretation, here's a Muslim saying that not implementing Sharia law is war with Allah and his messenger, and it's okay to use violence against people who refuse it.
Britain is Darul Haram because they are, anathema to God's law. They're not implementing it. They're violating His sanctity, and therefore this is war against Allah and His messenger. But we are not allowed to actually fight them here at the current time. So we are, propagating Islam.
At the current time, get him out of the country immediately.
At the current time, will there be a time? Well, Eric, we are not like the Christians. If you hit me on the left cheek, I'm not going to give you my right cheek. I'm going to defend myself. So,
we're going to defend ourselves too. I can tell you that much. God is not against self-defense, particularly when it comes to that. People like using that passage. I can make a video about it if you want, but let me tell you this much: what Jesus is not saying is, if people come for your family, just let them do whatever they want. That's not what Jesus is saying at all. It is your right, stand the ground, defend your own. It is Christian to protect the innocents and stand against evil. It is Christian.
At the moment, we're propagating Islam peacefully, but if they attack us, we have a right to defend ourselves.
What if they don't attack, but say you get numbers, you get strength, say Muslims became a majority in Great Britain, then would there be a cause for offensive jihad?
If we have enough authority and we have enough power, we are obliged as Muslims to take the authority away from the people who have it and implement the Sharia. Now,
holy mother of... Are you sure if you're left-wing you want to support this? Are you sure? I mean, I get it. You hate us Christians. I get it. I mean, not all lefties, but let's say you're one of those. I get it. Really?
I hope that can come in a very peaceful way. I hope that we can do that in a way, where there's no bloodshed.
There he is, openly admitting that he would use violence against people who refuse to convert, and likely only prefers peace at the moment because there aren't enough Muslims in the West to make violence an effective tactic. Again, I will say that there are some messed up things in the Bible. Certainly Christianity has its dark points, but the issue with Islam is the massive number of people who are currently radicalized by the dark points of the Quran and are willing to use violence against people who believe something different.
Yes.
This is something that does not describe modern Christianity. Which brings us to this article from the New York Post. Qatar pumping tens of billions into universities. This is from a Qatar family that's tied to the Muslim Brotherhood, which is a group that supports a terrorist organization called Hamas. So what a shock. What a shock you have a family of Hamas supporters donating billions of dollars to American colleges, and now we have a bunch of college students coming out in support of terrorism. By the way, the Palestinians aren't the biggest fans of Hamas. That's because Hamas is busy killing any Palestinian who opposes them, and they're busy hiding food during a famine.
Yeah.
But I mean, is this funding also a contributor to the large amount of antinatalism that's been spreading?
I straight up see pregnancy as an act of like self-harm.
This really, I mean, you could think whatever you want, but at this point, if you're an atheist, you're watching this, I don't know how you don't see that this is diabolical. This is a proof of the existence of evil. Something like this, it's not normal. This cannot happen randomly. At this point, even if you don't believe it and you're atheist, stand with us. We know what's happening.
If you're posting that you're pregnant, I pretty much think that you hate yourself. I legit am not happy when someone posts that they're pregnant. It actually like instills fear in me. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so scared. I'm so scared for you.
Yeah.
You wouldn't exist if your mum wasn't pregnant.
That's great. Considering their rhetoric, I'm sure radical Islam would love to use violence to take over the non-believers, but they know they can't defeat countries like America with military force.
Right.
Recent events in the Middle East are strong proof that radical Muslims can't do shit against modern weapons. So they know they can't defeat the U.S. military with force, so their plan is to invade the West and outbreed Westerners. They say stuff like this constantly.
They do, actually. So before anyone says, I agree with him, before anyone says, oh, are you saying you believe in the great replacement theory? No, I'm saying that the Muslims believe it. Not all Muslims. But the ones that are interviewed, and I've watched them in Denmark, in Sweden, in England, and they say, you guys don't breed. We have like 8 kids per family, 5 kids per family. We'll outbreed you. And in a few years, you won't exist anymore. So which stage is this? Is this the stage where you still tell us it's not happening? Or is this the stage where you tell us it's happening and it's a good thing?
One day we can have a Muslim majority nation here in Canada. Right in your face.
Would you like to see Sharia law in Canada replace Canadian law?
At some point it will. You know, because we have families, we are making babies. You're not. Your population is going down the slump. That's right? Yeah. And by 2060, according to Pew Research Institute, Muslims will be the biggest religious group the world over. Right. What are you going to do then? Actually, are you going to oppose Sharia even then?
So they're open and talking about how they want to change the culture of Western countries to their religion and to Sharia law. And then you have college leftists calling you a racist when a travel ban gets put on Islamic countries that are full of people who are saying death to America.
He's absolutely right. Think before you sleep is 100% on point. And I'm going to say, people will... this man, we just heard him. That's what he said. And then you still have the goal to tell us that, we are conspiracy theorists? What, did I make that up? He certainly believes it in the replacement theory. To him, it's not a theory. It's his plan that he's enacting. What you going to say now? Are you going to call him a bigot? Because he believes in it.
And who are talking about how they want to conquer the West. How many Americans were defending these people because they were indoctrinated by college propaganda paid for by Qatar? Why is it even legal for universities to accept massive amounts of money from foreign agencies in the first place?
Yeah.
Especially ones that have values that are hostile towards our own.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that you guys aren't mad enough about this stuff.
I need to talk to you about something super serious, and it's this right here. Like, burning the American flag. It's just, wallahi, it's a beautiful sight, but it's not enough. We need to burn down every capitalist and imperialist system that exists. So go ahead and keep burning the...
Always violence. Always violence. But they're the good guys.
The disgusting, blood-stained, genocidal, shitty United States flag that was created by slave owners. I could give two...
Why don't you leave? You don't have to be here. You can go move. You know, you're all about immigration, right? I'm talking to the lady. Move to an Islamic country. You're going to love it, right? Or not. Who knows? I'm just saying. You don't have to be if you hate it so much.
But also make sure you're doing your part to dismantle all of the systems that make all of these atrocities in the world possible. Right. Thank you, and free Palestine.
You know that slavery is still practiced in Islamic countries, right? Slavery has been around since the beginning of time, and the only reason that you think it's wrong is because a bunch of white Westerners outlawed it.
Christians.
Also this.
So if you're a woman in Afghanistan and you don't wear the hijab,
they kill you.
She's not kidding. There was a girl who was killed.
That woman is who I want to hear. I want to listen to that woman. You say, you got to listen to people of color. Yeah, okay, fine. I want to listen to her. I want to hear what she has to say. I want to give priority to her lived experience over these entitled white liberal women. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. How does that make me a racist? I'm waiting on the logics. What is logics and reason? I'm waiting for it. Debunk what I just made as a statement. This is a victim of trauma, significant trauma. At a human level, I hear her say that, it makes my blood boil.
In Afghanistan and you don't wear the hijab, they kill you.
She's not kidding. There was a girl who was killed by her father and brothers for taking off her hijab and for acting too Western in a Western country. But if you hate America, then go somewhere else. No one's stopping you.
Exactly.
Now, free speech is a protection that you have from the government, but that doesn't mean we can't find other ways to make it very uncomfortable to be a person who is wishing for the downfall of America. Like I said, you aren't mad enough. These people are why you can't afford
Not sure what he means by that, but I'll let it go for now.
a house. They are why your groceries keep going up. They are why you can't find a good job anymore or afford to spend time with your kids or raise them in an area that isn't full of criminals. And also, listen to her wording. This girl is saying that she wants you dead. That's what bring down America means. And we have seen direct evidence of that every time there is an assassination attempt or a successful one.
Good point. Good point. These are the people that will dance on our graves. Very good point.
It's also these same people who consistently shit on America and follow that with, by the way, we should let infinite illegals in and allow them to prey on our tax dollars. So you know all those social systems that you paid into? Yeah, you aren't getting any of that money because it was given to a bunch of foreign invaders.
Yes.
Case in point, look at this chart made by the Center for Immigration Studies, where they took welfare stats from the U.S. Census Bureau. The highest group receiving welfare by percentage comes from households that were headed by illegal aliens.
Unbelievable. This is disgusting. You should give priority to the citizen of this country. I'm not an American. I'm an Italian. I'm going through citizenship, by the way. Eventually, I will be a citizen. And by that time, then I think I should be integrated and considered as a American citizen. Still, right now, I am a legal immigrant. Still, I'm not a citizen. So even though I went through the proper channels, I pay my taxes, I did everything by the books. If there is welfare redistribution, and say that in the future I need it, but there is also an American citizen that needs it, American citizen first. This is their land. I'm a guest, respectful one, but I'm a guest. So the fact that illegals are gonna get that, even before legals like me and citizen, it's awful. And it's the reason why, because you see, that's the inconsistency of the oppressor problem, is that in the US born head as household, this little blue thing here, you might be happy because you're thinking, no, illegals is good because, you know, maybe they're black, they're brown, great. So are some of the people in here. So imagine you have someone who is illegal and is getting the money instead of someone in this blue bar who is a citizen and is black. System implosion? That's a problem, but that's exactly what happened.
You might be wondering how illegals are getting welfare in the first place, and the answer to that is anchor babies. It's time to end birthright citizenship for children of non-citizens. The second highest category is legal immigrants. The next question should be, why in the hell aren't these people being deported? People who immigrate to become a burden on the system should be kicked out. Or at the very least, they should be legally barred from receiving welfare.
If they are illegals, I agree.
Because it's not just like a small percentage of foreigners, and it's already bad enough when born and raised U.S. citizens get hooked on welfare. People should be outraged by these numbers.
Yes.
Foreigners are the highest recipients of welfare by percentage by a significant margin in every category.
Yeah.
This is straight up theft. Kick all of these flunkies out. Not only is your blood, sweat, and hard-earned money being given to people who are a net negative on the system, and to people who don't even pay into it, but also these newcomers are constantly being used to flood out natural-born Americans
and say death to America in the meantime, the ones that do,
and erase our culture. Now, allow me to take a nuanced break and say that I don't think every immigrant is bad.
Of course.
I actually love immigration when immigrants assimilate and are respectful.
Absolutely.
Immigration is a part of the reason why America is great, because when you have proper immigration, you can swipe all the good ideas that other countries have and use them to fix problems that your country has.
Absolutely.
Like, how about we bring some Japanese people over here and get them to tell us how to have low crime rates like Japan has? So I think immigration done properly is great.
Yes.
What I'm tired of is all the ungrateful welfare flunkies or people who constantly complain about how bad America is.
Do you know what is Islamophobic, these grocery stores? Because why is it the chicken and the turkey, like frozen foods, are more expensive than the pork frozen foods? Like, that's Islamophobic, bro. And it's like the price for the bulk pork is the price for the small single-serve chicken, whatever, turkey. That is Islamophobic.
Then leave. Get out.
Leave. Get out. Absolutely. I agree. 100%.
There are plenty of Islamic countries that would be perfect for you.
So sick of these people that immigrate to our country and decide to shit on this great country when they've been afforded the opportunity to have a much better life from their native country when you compare the two. How bad does your shithole country have to be that you uproot all of the traditions, the languages, and the customs? You leave all of that behind to come to a country that none of that stuff exists.
Good man. Absolutely.
How bad has your country have to be, and how good does our country have to be that you would leave all of that behind?
Right. It's not a problem when these assholes trash America, but if we ever point out that maybe the countries they're fleeing from or refusing to migrate back to aren't the greatest places, then we're the bad people.
Yeah.
Now you're an ist or a phobe. And if you're asking why they don't go to the Islamic countries, well, the answer to that is because they would be treated like shit there, and they wouldn't get all the handouts that our government kindly allows them to steal from the taxpayers. Which brings us to the biggest canary in the coal mine, Minnesota, a state so corrupt and so full of fraud that they literally changed the state flag to something that looks incredibly similar to the Somali flag.
I did not know that.
Because the old flag was racist or some other bullshit lie.
All right, ready. Whoa, wait a
Oh,
minute.
that clown. Oh my gosh. Oh, what a clown.
There, that's better.
Minnesota is the flagship state for Somalians. That's why they're doing this.
Somalia is a war-torn Sharia law, radical Islamic shithole of people murdering each other and raping each other.
Minnesota is also the same state where the DHS did an investigation and found that 50% of the migrants in Minneapolis are residing there illegally and are committing various forms of fraud to stay in the U.S.
They don't want you to remove the illegals because they vote on their side.
Went to Carmel Mall. That's really the heart of the Somali community here in Minneapolis. It is normally bustling. There are people everywhere, and it was virtually empty.
A lot of people haven't been leaving their home for work or making a living, so it's very unfortunate and very sad.
Gee, I wonder why everyone in the mall would disappear the minute that ICE starts investigating. Could it be that none of them are in the country legally? I mean, this shouldn't be that hard to figure out considering how few of these people speak English.
I can see how, the English, they're not being able to speak English is not a problem. But another thing I want to say, I can see how maybe even if you are legal, you could be scared, because of all the things you hear. So maybe that one is not as strong as a line of attack. With that being said, we have data. A lot of them are illegal. So clearly they're going to leave their house if they're illegal. I'm just saying maybe even the legals are scared to go out. I could see that at a human level.
What's it like being a Muslim here in the United States?
I'm not speaking English, only one Somali language.
What does it mean to you to be a part of Islam?
I don't know, I'm not speaking English very well.
How are you? Do any of you speak English? English? Speak English?
They probably came into the country too old. It's probably part of the problem. But then again, really, if you think about it, it's the illegals that are causing trouble for the legals, because I'm going to say it. If all of this fraud and all of this illegal immigration wasn't a thing, do you think any of us would have any problem with the legally immigrated Somalians? Unless they start saying death to America, then yes, I'm going to have a problem with you, regardless of whatever the heck you look like, obviously. That's not part of the problem, or where you're from, or what language you speak. But if you're just immigrating, so the illegals are causing trouble for the legals.
No.
5 years. 5 years is more than enough time to learn English, and if you can't speak more than like 2 sentences after 5 years, you should be deported. America is not a charity. By the way, how many countries are there?
If you come here, see, here's the thing. The only thing that I would say when it comes to that, if you come here legally, say you married an American, you don't necessarily have to learn the language to immigrate legally. So there is that. But of course, if you want to seek employment and you can't speak the language, tough luck. Then you have to rely on your husband's money, I guess.
That are full of followers of Islam doing nothing to assimilate or contribute to the system. Europe is full of refugees, and the government is so corrupt there that you can't even say we like bacon without the cops arresting you in England. The result is that you get a bunch of Muslim extremists threatening jihad against you, or they're stealing all of your country's resources through social services and fraud. And let me just be clear on the social services end. Here's a study that was done by the Netherlands where they track who are the biggest net contributors to the system, and page 21 comes with this colorful graph that shows who is a benefit and who is a burden. You see that country there on the right side of Africa? That's Somalia. Notice how they are in the red, which means they are a huge burden on the system. In fact, I just so happen to notice that basically all the red countries which cost society the most are countries that are big on Islam, and basically all the blue countries are primary white Western countries and Japan. Oh wait, they actually just say it directly on page 39, that it's the Muslims who are the biggest financial burden.
Yeah, you see, what they're gonna tell you then, though, they're gonna it's a fact, but what they're gonna say is, oh, it's because of colonialism. Even data will be ignored because the cult has decided. Sorry, not sorry. White Christians, Western men, straight men specifically, you are the oppressor. So it doesn't matter.
You want to know why no one cares about being called an Isterophobe anymore? It's because of this shit. The negative contribution is especially large for asylum seekers from Africa and the Middle East. And just in case you weren't mad enough, speaking of Minnesota, Nick Shirley did some investigative journalism and uncovered over $100 million of fraud through fake daycare centers, fake transportation
They want him dead now.
services, and fake medical care providers that are charging the government tons of money for services that were never rendered.
And so, for example, there's a child care not far from here in Minneapolis that has two child cares listed at the same address. And together, they're licensed supposedly for 120 children. I have never seen a single child there ever, and I've been by that place at least 100 times.
How much money have these child care centers received?
In 2020, one of them received $1.3 million. In 2021, they got $987,000. In 2022, they got $714,000.
Couldn't they take like $5,000? They take all of this money. How many millions is it? Like 3 million, 3.44 million. Take $4 million. Take 5,000, 5,000, 5,000, 5,000. Start giving them to American citizen families that are struggling to reach the end of the month. It's not going to change your life, but a lot of people would really benefit to get, boom, instantaneous $5,000 benefit if you're struggling. You're an American citizen. Maybe you're working, but you're having some trouble. There was a situation, whatever you want. We can assess the situation. Oh, gosh, it's a nice American family, hardworking family, but the husband got cancer. Give him money. Not this. I'm happy for my tax dollar to go to a family like that, irrespective of color, by the way, just pointing it out.
And then the other one, $1.604 million in fiscal year 2025. Between the two of these child care centers, they're pulling in about $3 million a year.
A year?
And there are no children. Every facility that you go to, the windows will be blocked out so you can't see in. There's nobody here. You won't see a single child at any of these facilities.
They're open 7 days a week, 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. it says here on their sign, yet there's absolutely nobody here. It seems like business isn't even open right now, and it's a weekday.
Every single Somalian involved in this scam should be deported back to the worst part of their country, and there should be a full immigration ban on people coming from Somalia.
Yeah.
Also, every government official enabling this scam should be charged with treason and forced to serve 10 plus years in prison.
I'm not sure if 10 years is the appropriate amount, but yes, I agree. I agree with everything. I'm still one of those that is like, yeah, but if it's a legal Somalian, did nothing wrong, maybe it's a freaking engineer, actual one, not the fake engineers and doctors, but it's a real one, or maybe they're married to an American, they want to come in. I wouldn't want to punish innocence, but you definitely have to become stricter after this, 100%.
Or worse. I guarantee you this isn't the only scam. America is probably rampant with this type of fraud.
Yeah.
Here's a really ironic tweet from Tim Walz. But this is billions of dollars of your money and your hard work that they are just outright stealing. And they keep doing it because no one strikes fear into their eyes by punishing them for it. We need to demand that these people pay for what they've done and not give up until justice has actually been served. You know how people won't stop bringing up that Hassan Piker is an animal abuser?
Yeah.
This is the kind of energy that we should have towards this stuff.
Absolutely.
These people should not be able to get away with likely a multi-billion-dollar scam because the internet got bored after 2 weeks. Because what I hate the most is how people have this defeatist black pill attitude and say nothing can be done when there's absolutely a ton of stuff that can be done about this.
Yeah.
We can bring America back to a place where it's great. First and foremost, if you don't like radical Islam, then have kids. Having a family is the most fulfilling thing a
working on it.
Person can do. Second, the best weapon we have is specific information. Instead of saying they are doing this, we need to know specifically who the bad behavior is coming from so we can correct it. So stop giving a shit if people call you racist or Islamophobic when you point out bad behavior.
Yes.
Why would you care about offending someone who wants you dead for having different beliefs?
He's absolutely right.
Last, either be an investigative journalist or support investigative journalists financially or by sending them information they can use to expose a scandal. A huge part of the problem is that we don't know who to throw in jail or what specific things are causing the problems that we're facing. We know the money is gone, but why specifically is the money gone? Oh, it's because Somalians are stealing it. Well, okay, send over ICE to go deport them and arrest and charge any Americans who are involved in the scam.
Yeah, that's what's happening, and I wish that ICE was at the whole situation about ICE. I've recently just made a video about it, literally yesterday. So maybe refer to that.
Now we can develop a plan of action, and it is through the successful execution of many plans of action that things in this country will get better. Anyway, thanks for watching. Follow me on Twitter, and I'll see you in the next video.
Thank you very much. Think before you sleep. Really appreciate that. I hope everything is going well with you. And let me know, guys, what you think. As always, you agree with me. You strongly disagree. Metatron, you understand nothing. Great. Let me know why in the comments, and I'll read your comments with an open mind, as long as you don't call me stuff. Because if you call me stuff, I'll just laugh. How about that? Thank you. Bye.